Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. Today we're making this lovely eagle for the 4th of July. This is a freestanding paper craft project which will look lovely in your celebration decorations. But he's hiding a little surprise in his tummy. Look what happens when I turn out my camera lights. Look at him! He's all glowing. That's right, this isn't just a freestanding paper craft, it's a lantern. Add submersible LED lights or fairy lights inside to make him glow. I've set this on a white light, but because I'm using lights that have a rainbow, I could make him red, I could make him white, or I could make him blue. Or go a little bit of everything and watch all those colours appear in his tummy. This is so bright and beautiful and lovely. If you'd like to make your very own glowing eagle for the 4th of July, here's where to find the free SVG. You can find the free files to make this project at craftwithsarah.com/free-SVGs, or click the link in the description of this video to go to the tutorial where you can download straight from that page. You'll need to register a free account on my website in order to download any of the designs. The download comes in a zip folder. Before you can get the files into your cutting machine software, you'll need to unzip that folder. Visit craftwithsarah.com/help for instructions on how to do that, as well as a wide range of other tutorials on how to use your Cricut, Silhouette, or Scan and Cut machine. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, it's time to get the SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Open up Design Space and start a new project, then go to Upload over on the left, and then Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find the file on your computer, or drag and drop it in. Make sure you choose the unzipped version of the download folder, and within there you'll see several subfolders with numbers down the side. For Cricut Design Space, it's really easy, you just need the file in the 01 Cricut version folder. If you're using a Silhouette or a Scan and Cut machine, head to craftwithsarah.com/help and choose your type of machine from the list on the page. Within there are separate videos and tutorials on how to use my files with your type of machine. But for Cricut, we'll go into 01 Cricut version, drag and drop that in, and this is what it looks like. Press continue, and then you don't need to change anything on this screen. And don't worry that you can't really see all the structure pieces, it's just because it's blending into that background. And press upload. Then it will insert onto your canvas. Hide this window of suggested images by clicking the arrow halfway down the page. This green box is telling you what size it should load in at. The reason the size is quite important for these is that if it comes in too small, then your light might not fit inside. They've been designed to be able to fit a battery-powered tea light inside. So it should load in at 12 inches wide and 18 inches tall, which mine has. If yours hasn't, then change it to fit those sizes. The design comes in pretty much ready to cut out. All we need to do is delete this green box. So click on the design, press the ungroup button at the top of the layers panel, and then the very top layer in here is the green box. You can see it green in there. Or now you've ungrouped everything, you can just click the green box here and then either click the delete button on your keyboard or press the trash can up here. And then this is ready to cut. We've got all the layers here, there's nothing else you need to do. One thing to bring your attention to are these 6 blue shapes at the bottom of the design. These should be cut from vellum, tracing paper, or some other kind of translucent material. They'll be glued behind all of the little cutouts in the side panels of the lantern to diffuse the light. That way you'll get a beautiful even glow of light throughout the whole of the side panels, and it means that, as it's translucent, you won't see the lighting mechanism themselves. If you don't have any vellum or tracing paper, you could use something like acetate. Even though that's completely clear, it will still help a little bit. Or you could delete these by dragging a box around them and again pressing that trash can icon or the delete key on your keyboard to get rid of them. And then you just have these with the little gaps in them. It means your lighting won't be quite as effective, but still perfectly lovely if you don't have any of that vellum or tracing paper. However, I do, so let's hit the undo button to put those back in. And then this is ready to cut out, super easy. Click Make over on the top right of the screen, and that will separate out all the colours. You can change the paper size in the drop down here. Then you can click and drag if you want to move things about to take up less space on your cardstock. Just make sure nothing overlaps, otherwise it won't cut out properly. When you're happy with how all of your colours are looking, press continue to connect to your Cricut machine and follow the on-screen instructions to get everything out from cardstock and from vellum or tracing paper. The tracing paper I use is very, very lightweight, so I do use the vellum setting in Design Space to get it cut out. You could also try the light cardstock setting with less pressure or the copy paper setting. All of those should do well, but you might need to just have a little bit of trial and error to see what works with your particular type of vellum and tracing paper, because they're all a little bit different. Some are really thin, some are thicker, so you just might need to play about to find out what works with your particular material and your Cricut machine. Before we put the Eagle lantern together, I thought I would quickly show you 10 brand new lanterns that have gone live in my shop today. If you've been waiting for your favourite animal to be turned into a lantern, chances are it's going to be there now. If you've got your eye on several lanterns, then the most cost-effective way to purchase them is by joining our membership at craftwithsarah.com/join. It's just $20 a month, but that gives you 20 design credits every single month to use on new designs, which means you could download 10 lanterns if you join today for just $20. If you were to purchase those 10 lanterns individually without joining the membership, it would cost you $50. So the membership is definitely more cost effective. Instead of paying $50 for 10, you'd only pay $20 for 10 lanterns. Best of all, there's no minimum length of term, so you can sign up for a month, get those 10 lanterns, and then cancel again if you want to. That's absolutely fine. Or keep your membership going, and then you can download 10 layered designs or lanterns every single month. But if you only want one or a couple, don't worry, you can purchase them individually too. Here's how. Head to craftwithsarah.com and sign into your account if you've got one. Then go to Products over here in the navigation. That will load the page you can see now. Under the Categories filter, scroll down and tick the box next to Lanterns and Luminaries. That will update the page to only show those designs. You can see there's 108 to choose from for me, but there'll be even more when you look at it because there'll be those extra 10 designs I just showed you. If you're part of the Craft with Sarah Premium membership, most of the lantern designs can be downloaded with your monthly design credits, which means you can download them at no extra cost. If you'd like to filter them to only show the ones that are available with your design credits, look in this drop down here and choose Available with Credits. Let's have a quick look at all the lanterns you can download with your design credits. As well as all the super cute animals, there's a range of 3-dimensional Easter egg lanterns too, with different patterns in the side. Looking through all of the animals, there are so many to choose from. There are also some gnomes hidden in there too, as well as a wide amount of cat breeds and dog breed lanterns. I just love creating these lantern designs, which is why there are quite so many, as I can't stop making them. And then here on the final page are my absolute favourites, which are these hanging birds in flight lanterns. These are super impressive when they're made, and they look really lovely hanging in your home. Now let's take a look at putting together our 4th of July Eagle lantern. Here are all of my pieces cut out from cardstock. I've also got my vellum or tracing paper pieces here. To speed things up, I've already stuck 5 of the 6 pieces behind the window panels, but I've got one left to glue together to show you. Turn all of your window panels upside down and then take your vellum pieces. You'll notice one side of the vellum has got a tiny little triangle cut out. That goes at the bottom of the window panel, so the side with that flat tab, not the side with the rounded tab. The glue I'm using is Barely Art glue, but I also like Kalau. The reason I like these glues is they don't bend or wrinkle the card like some glues can do. The vellum pieces won't go all the way to the edge, so put your glue around whilst leaving a little gap. And if you can, try and get some glue in between the shapes of the stars and the fireworks too. Don't add glue into the tab sections because the vellum won't touch there. And then put it over the top. Drop down and push down ever so gently because you don't want to smush that glue out into any of the pieces where it will be visible. So it's okay if it looks a little bit messy from the back, as you won't see it, but here's how it looks from the front, and it's now diffusing anything that goes behind it. Get all 6 of your window panels done and then put them aside to dry. Next up, let's add the layers to the front. First up, we've got the wings, this section here, which will be stuck on with foam squares. Turn it upside down and grab some foam squares. The ones I'm using are from Dart & Dab, but any will do. If yours are big, you may need to cut them smaller with scissors. Add a good amount on here to make sure it'll stick nicely to the front of the lantern. Make sure you've got some in the head section as well as in the wings. Put a couple of foam squares in the middle of the head to make sure it's really stable when it's all stuck together. And then peel the tops off the foam squares to reveal the stickiness underneath. Line this up, the head shapes will match and the edges of where those wings are. And then gently drop down. The reason for gently dropping down is that if you weren't quite happy with the positioning, you can pick it up and move it as it hasn't stuck yet. That looks pretty good to me. Next, glue the blue on the left and the red on the red on the right. It is also going on white. That was confusing. I definitely got my words muddled up then. Okay, blue first. Okay, it's on top of the bit you just stuck on with the foam squares. And then red on the right. There. And now we're going to build up the head, which has got lots of pieces to it. The very bottom one is the one that's all yellow. This will be stuck on with foam squares. Put that in place. There we go. And then all of the other head layers will be glued on top, apart from the beak, which I will probably use foam squares for. The next layer is this one. Turn it upside down, add glue on the back, and then stick it on top of that yellow layer. That's another thing that's hard to say, yellow layer. Almost a tongue twister. Next up is the black piece. Then it's this white one. Then the blue to go around the edge. Then the grey piece to add some detail to the face. And then the beak, which you can either glue on or use foam squares for. And that's all the details done, so now we need to start building the lantern structure. Select the other 2 lantern pieces. This one we've decorated will be piece 1. Then the piece that's got a slit in here and here, and then also 2 slits along the bottom will go in next. And then the piece that's got the big slit coming down from the top and the big one coming up from the bottom will go in third. Take piece 2 and piece 1, slide it into the slit in piece 1, and then carefully pull it through, being careful not to crease or bend the card, and slot the bottom in as well. I think I just missed that. There we go. So it should then be freestanding. Hold those 2 pieces flat against each other. Take the third piece and slot that over too. So that's going over both of those pieces that you've already done. Once again, pull it through and slot it over the bottom. And now you'll end up with a 6-sided shape that's freestanding. To give it some stability, we've got these two circles. The smaller one goes in the top, the larger one goes in the bottom. I'll do the smaller one first. In the sides of all of these, you've got these tiny slits. You can just see that by my fingernail. The ridges in the edge of the circles are going to go into those slits. So these little bits here. And I've just noticed I haven't quite popped out those little bits of card in the middle. There we go. All right, so put it in and then carefully bring it up and get your slits and slots into place. I always say when doing these slot together projects, these circles are the hardest thing to try and show on camera. It's even harder today because it's white against my white table. Be patient with it. You might need to wiggle one up a little bit and then not quite get it into place, but move on to the next one. Get that one up a little bit and then come back to the first one. Just be careful when you're moving things about that you don't tear anything. But once it's in, it will hold itself in there. When you turn it upside down, it should be nice and flat along that circle. And you can shake it about and it doesn't go anywhere because it's held in place. And then we'll do the same on the bottom with the bigger circle. Once again, that goes in there, and we're doing the same thing. There we go, that's all of those in there. That's the structure done. Now we just need to put in the side panels. I'm going to start with this one and do red first, but it doesn't matter which way around you do it really. The tab with the oval goes in the top of the lantern and the flat edge goes in the bottom. You see you've got slits in those circles for this to go in. I'll put that through that top one and then fold it in a little bit and get that flat tab through the bottom, and then it holds itself in place. And then get a blue one next. Do the same thing on the next hole. And then alternate, picked up the wrong one, red again this side. Or you could do blue, red, blue on the front. Completely up to you. And then the same on the back. So I've got blue next. And then I'm going to leave the middle one, the red one for now, so I can put my light in. Just finish off the blue. There we are. The lights I'm using are these submersible LED lights. I bought them on Amazon. They come with a remote and you turn them to get them to turn on, and then you can change the colours with the remote. It's a bit hard to see because it's really light in here. I'll turn my lights off in a minute. But all you do is place it in there. You can see that's in there glowing. And then put that final side on. And these lights are new ones I've only just bought. They're a bit bigger than the ones I normally use. But actually that works really nicely because it gives a better glow. I'm going to turn some of my camera lights off now so you can see better. And there we are, 4th of July lantern, glowing beautifully, all these different colours. Or you could keep it on the red, white and blue theme. Oh, actually, I really like that with those white lights. That's nice. Or you could go blue. Or just a little bit of everything. I hope that you've enjoyed making this 4th of July Eagle Lantern with me. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and free SVGs. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!